Come along with me and create the most adorable spider kitty for National Bug Day. I begin my process by removing any unwanted bits, and in this case it was this little ponytail. Next I go in with 100% acetone and I'm using a Q-tip to remove any unwanted factory paint. I did it on the eyes and on the bow. Now we're going into the sculpting phase. This is my first time using Super Sculpey, and let me just say I'm really happy with how it worked out. If you don't know, Super Sculpey is an oven-baked clay. I had often strayed away from using these kind of clays just because I don't want to melt my LPS on accident when curing it. However, after using it on this pet, I think I'm sold. I loved how effortlessly this blended out onto my base. As you can see, it's taking literally just my finger to blend it out smoothly. It also stuck to the base pretty well. As long as you don't have any water or anything on the base beforehand, it will stay and won't slip and slide like some clays do. And for itty bitty details, it just took my dotting tool and some silicone tools to look amazing. And as you saw earlier, I covered up the pre-existing spider mouth and created my own kitty muzzle and heart-shaped nose. Once I'm done with the sculpting, I then go into the sanding phase, which is very important if you want your sculpting bits to look very smooth. It also helps by adding texture to the base of the pet for painting. I'm getting a little fancy here and I'm using this gesso to add some dry brushing to the base. I normally don't do this because I don't like the texture it gives, but I wanted to give it a try just to see if maybe it changed my mind, and no it didn't. But after I dry brushed, I then went in with a bunch of thin layers of gray. I did around 7 to 10 coats to make sure that the base was really smooth and opaque. And for the white details, I started with a milky gray and then worked my way up to an opaque white. Did multiple layers of this to make the fur look like fur. I did the same for all 8 legs. I also made sure each leg had a different height just to make sure it wasn't super symmetrical. And I even gave her a little butt fluff. And we finish off the white details with her main biscuit kneaders and her ear tufts. To finish off the body details, I did a watercolor style dotting, and then I dipped into my chalk pastels. I used a dark brown and gray for the ears and the back of her body, white around her eye sockets. Then I went in with a light pink underneath the cheeks, on her muzzle, her toe beans, and on the belly to give a little blush look. And you best believe I gave this girl every single toe bean she deserved, 24 in total. P.S. They're even glossy, because who doesn't like glossy toe beans? To finish off the body, I used a light pink for her bow. On to everyone's favorite, the eyes. Some of these clips may be a little wonky, and that's because I did them over on live. If you don't know, I often go live on TikTok working on my customs or other art projects. So if you were one of the unfortunate souls who had to witness some of the atrocities that went over on my live, because this girly was definitely a time crunch custom for me, please feel free to comment below saying, hey, I was there. As you guys know, eyes are probably my favorite thing to do on customs, so I'm always eager to make sure that they look perfect and pristine. I try to give them that 3D glass eye look while still being 2D. And I honestly can thank that to the chalk pastels. They add so much definition to your eyes. And if you guys are trying to figure out your own eye style and need a little help, I actually have a tutorial pinned on my TikTok account, so feel free to check that out. Now what you've all been waiting for, the big reveal, and here she is. I'm so beyond in love with this custom. She came out perfect. The total time it took me to work on this pet was around 3 days, and even though it was a little stressful, which is my fault, I am still very, very proud of what I came up with, and I hope you guys love her just as much. As always, I post detailed pictures on my Instagram, as well as when my pets will be for sale. Thank you guys so much for watching, and happy Bug Day!